For the first 150 years, coca was only used in South America, as the Spanish were only interested in shipping silver, gold, sugar, and tobacco back to Europe. Coca didn't make the cut for lack of demand, as most of the people back in Europe never heard of coca. The crown really didn't want people to know about what they had found in the New World. They wanted all the bounty for themselves, as they were in competition with other nations, mainly Portugal. The crown set rules for ships going to the New World and coming back to Spain, on allowing them to dock in the southern port city of Seville. That made Seville very rich in valuables and in knowledge. The returning missionaries who had documented all of the dealings with the natives would speak about what they seen and experienced to the locals. The person who popularized coca in Europe was a Spanish doctor from Seville who never set foot in the New World. His name was Nicolas Monaldes. Dr. Monaldes wrote a book on the medical practices and plants of the New World. The first volume was published in 1569. After its publication, it got translated into other languages. The name of his book is Joyful News Out of the Newfound World, where it's declared the virtues of herbs, trees, oils, plants, and stones. The book mentions tobacco and coca for the first time and how the natives used the leaves. Natives would roast seashells. After roasting the seashell, they would turn them into ash, making lime. Then they would chew the leaves with the ash. The seashell ash releases the cocaine out of the leaves. Or if they wanted to preserve the coca, they would chew the leaves with the ash to make little pellets, then let them sit under the sun to dry. After Monaldes' book, people learned about the plant, but supply was still scarce. The Spanish would never capitalize on coca. Moving forward 250 years, a new publication about coca was published in Europe. It was a paper by an Englishman named Sir William Hooker. Sir William Hooker would go on and become the head of Kew Gardens. His paper was the first to have a picture of coca in the European press. His model for the picture was a plant from Chincheros, Peru. After the invention of quinine, European countries started experimenting with different plants to make medicine. Quinine is a medicine used to treat malaria. Quinine is made from the cinchona plants native to South America. After the invention of quinine in 200 years, the English started experimenting with coca. In 1869, the first coca seeds arrived in Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens is located in Surrey, England. The seeds were shipped from the Orinoco Valley in Peru. For 40 years, they kept gathering seeds and sending them to other places in the British Empire. Places like India, Africa, Malaysia, and Jamaica. But they were growing the wrong coca. As I mentioned in part 1, there are 4 different types of coca plants. The plant with the most cocaine in it is called Eroxylum coca or Amazonian coca. The Dutch were also growing coca in Java. The coca grown in Java was of better quality because they were growing Amazonian coca. The British finally got a hold of Amazonian coca in 1851 when a botanist working for Kew Gardens found samples near the mouth of the Rio Negro in Brazil. In the mid-1800s, the Germans were the leaders in coca chemistry, largely because they were getting their coca from the Dutch plantations in Java. The first person to isolate cocaine from the plant was a Spanish chemist who taught at La Paz University in 1867 named Enrique Pisi. Pisi was challenged by a German naturalist named Johann von Schudi to isolate the active ingredients from the coca leaves. Von Schudi was in Peru documenting plants and animals. Von Schudi hired a native named Atum Hamang to guide him around. Through the voyage, he started to notice Atum was not eating, only chewing coca. He would chew about half an ounce of coca leaves every 3 hours and showed no signs of fatigue. Observing Atum assured him coca had something special in it. Von Schudi took the sample piece he made of 100% pure coke back with him to Germany. Soon as he got to Germany, he went to his friend Friedrich Holler's laboratory. Holler was one of the most respected figures in organic chemistry, having trained thousands of students. Holler gave the sample to his graduate student Albert Niemann. Albert Niemann went on to publish the first techniques on how to isolate cocaine from the leaves. He named it cocaina. Niemann believed that coca was just like other plant-derived stimulants. like tobacco, coffee, and tea, and were all used for the same purpose, to provide energy. The method Needman published is the same used today in the jungles of South America. Europe really became fascinated with coca in the mid 1800s, with stories like that of a tomb and of other people chewing or drinking coca helping them perform better. Even then, people were trying to find a way to be bigger, faster, and stronger. The first known athlete to cheat using drugs was a race walker from the US. He was caught chewing coca. Race walking was a big sport in the mid 1800s, invented in England by rich people who had servants walk alongside their coaches. After a while, it evolved into a sport. People would bet on the races, and the racers would win large purses. The race walkers were called pedestrians. The best pedestrian in the U.S. was a man named Payson Watson. In 1876, Watson sailed to England to race the English champion. The race was a 24-hour, 150-mile ultra marathon. His English opponent walked faster but lacked the stamina Watson had. The Englishman quit 14 hours and 65 miles in. Watson lasted a whole 24 hours and 110 miles. After the race, the English racer was in bad shape. Watson, however, was not. Later, reporters found out Watson was chewing coca the whole race, and the public was upset. But nonetheless, the race wasn't challenged. That sparked the first coca craze in Europe and the US, and the beginning of $1 billion trade.